secretly raped my brother's baby for 5 years. But when his wife found out, everything exploded and my entire family turned against me. You ever stare at a family photo so long that it starts to feel like a lie? That's what every picture of my family feels like, smiles stretched across faces hiding betrayal, secrets too heavy to speak aloud. In every photo, I'm the cool uncle holding a little boy who looks so much like me it hurts. But the truth, I'm not his uncle, I'm his father. No one knows except his mother and me. It all started when I lost everything, my girlfriend, Maya, the one person who ever really saw me, to my own brother, Aaron, the golden child, who always had everything handed to him. I stayed quiet, swallowed the heartbreak, and watched from the sidelines as he swept her into our family like she belonged to him. But one night, months after she left me, Maya called crying, terrified. She was pregnant, and the baby might be mine. It wasn't a maybe. I knew it was mine. We'd slept together one last time in a moment of weakness, of love, of unfinished pain, and that moment changed everything. She begged me to keep it a secret, told me Aaron could never know, and like a fool, or maybe like a father, I agreed. That day, I buried myself inside a lie that would grow louder with every heartbeat, of the boy I couldn't claim. When Liam was born, I held him in the hospital and felt something inside me crack open. He had my eyes, my nose, even my laugh, but no one saw it, or maybe they refused to. I was there for him more than Aaron ever was, changing diapers, singing lullabies, rocking him to sleep when his mother was too broken to stand. Aaron thought I was just being a good uncle. The family praised me for stepping up, but they didn't know I was slowly breaking from the inside, pretending I wasn't dying every time my son called me uncle. I watched Liam grow up, knowing I could never tell him the truth, that his real father was right there beside him every step of the way, silently loving him from the shadows. It was torture wrapped in love. And then, like all secrets, the truth began to crack through. Maya started drinking, Aaron became suspicious, and Liam began to look at me like he knew, like deep down, something in his soul recognized me. I knew this lie couldn't last forever, but I also knew that once the truth came out, everything, our family, my relationship with Liam, even my chance at being his dad, might be destroyed forever. Maya started unraveling in small, terrifying ways. At first it was just late-night calls, her voice slurred, saying she felt like she was drowning. Then came the missed school pickups, the forgotten lunches, the bruises she couldn't explain. And I, like a ghost father, kept patching over the mess, pretending everything was fine, while slowly becoming Liam's actual parent in every way except the one that mattered most. I told myself I was protecting him, sparing him from the chaos of broken truths. But some nights, when I held him after one of Maya's breakdowns, and he'd press his small hands against my cheeks, saying, "I love you more than anyone," I wanted to scream. I wanted to tell him I was his dad. But what would it change? I wasn't on his birth certificate. I had no rights. Maya begged me to stay quiet, whispering, "Aaron can't find out. He'll take everything from me. And from you." And she was right. Aaron had power, money, and the family's unconditional loyalty. No one ever questioned him, even when he started staying out late, disappearing on weekends, showing up hungover to family dinners like a frat boy trapped in an adult's body. Meanwhile, I was the one holding the pieces together. But to everyone else, I was just the helpful younger brother, too soft to stand up for himself, too loyal to betray the family. I think they pitied me, If only they knew the truth, that I was slowly burning alive inside a prison of silence I built myself. Maya wasn't just unraveling, she was vanishing. Her laughter faded, her hugs felt mechanical, and more than once she told me she wished she could run away from everything. And still, I stayed. For Liam, always for Liam. I told myself one day, when he was older, I'd explain it all, the love, the sacrifice, the impossible choices. But deep down, I feared he'd hate me for it. That he'd ask why I lied, why I stood back and let another man raise him in name while I raised him in spirit. And then came the night that changed everything. Maya showed up at my apartment with Liam, sobbing, mascara smeared, her hands shaking. "I can't do this anymore," she said. "I need you to take him. Just for a little while, please. I'm not okay." I didn't even hesitate. I pulled Liam into my arms and told him everything would be okay, even though I wasn't sure if it would be. That night, after I tucked him in, I sat on the couch, staring into the dark, realizing I was now his only constant, his protector, his father, and no matter what came next, no matter how deep this lie went, I wasn't letting him go again. Even if the truth destroyed me. It had been 3 weeks since Maya dropped Liam off that night, and she hadn't come back. Not a single call, not a text, not even a word through the family grapevine. I kept checking the news, expecting to see her name in a headline, missing woman, tragic accident, overdose, anything. But there was nothing, and I couldn't report her missing without dragging everything out into the open, without risking the truth slipping from my mouth in a moment of desperation. Liam was asking questions, too. "Where's Mummy? Is she okay? Did I do something wrong?" And I'd hold him tight and lie again. "She's just resting, buddy. She needed a break." But inside, I was unraveling. I hadn't slept properly in days. I was watching a 5-year-old with a 1,000-yard stare draw pictures of his mother flying away on paper airplanes while I tried to hold my job, my sanity, and my secrets together. The worst part, no one noticed. Not Erin, not my parents, not even Maya's friends. It was like she had evaporated, and the only one who cared was me. The man no one knew was connected to her as anything more than a brother-in-law. But then, the real nightmare began. It started with a knock at my door, late evening. Rain pouring outside like the sky was mourning something I didn't understand yet. I opened it to find Erin standing there, drunk, red-eyed, holding a manila envelope, and swaying like he was about to collapse. "Where is she?" he slurred. "Maya, I know you know. She's not answering. You think I'm stupid." I lied again, told him I hadn't heard from her, but he didn't believe me. He pushed past me into the apartment, looking around like he was searching for her in the shadows. Then he saw Liam's drawings on the fridge. One of them said me and Daddy in crooked little letters, and the man drawn didn't have Erin's dark hair. It had mine. Erin went very still. He stared at that drawing for a long time. Too long, before slowly turning toward me with a look I can only describe as animalistic rage, mixed with heart-splitting confusion. "Why? Why would he write this?" he whispered. "He calls me Dad. Why would he draw you?" I shrugged. Kids mix stuff up. But I could tell he wasn't buying it. That envelope he brought, it was divorce papers. He told me Maya had filed them 3 days ago. He thought she ran off with someone, that she might have had another man. And suddenly, I realized the weight of what was happening. He was starting to put pieces together. Dangerous pieces. If he found out the full truth, I wouldn't just lose Liam. I could lose everything. My family, my job, my reputation, but more importantly, I'd lose Liam. And so, I did the only thing I could. I doubled down on the lie. I told Aaron Maya had confided in me about being depressed, that maybe she ran off to some retreat or out-of-town rehab. He bought it, barely, but I knew that envelope wasn't the end of the storm, it was the beginning. That night, after Aaron left, I sat on the floor of my living room with Liam asleep on the couch, and I wept. Not quiet, cinematic tears, but the ugly, choking sobs of a man torn apart by love, guilt, and the unbearable pressure of carrying a lie too big for one's soul. And then I made a decision. I would raise Liam no matter what. I'd find Maya. I'd get custody. I'd do it the right way. But I needed help. Someone who knew the law. Someone I could trust. I called Natalie, an old friend from college, who was now a family lawyer. She had no idea about the situation, and when I told her, even in the vaguest terms, she said, "Aaron's a shark, and your position's weak. If this goes to court, you better have solid proof Liam's yours." That hit me like a slap. Had no birth certificate, no DNA test, no custody agreement, nothing. I was a ghost dad in every legal sense. And then she said something that shook me. If Aaron gets suspicious and does a paternity test on Liam, everything's going to explode. You need to act now. And that's when I knew the truth wasn't going to stay buried much longer. Was running out of time. Every day Liam grew more curious, and every hour Aaron grew more suspicious. He started texting me late at night, asking weird questions. Do you think Liam looks like me? Was Maya ever unfaithful? I could feel the noose tightening, and worst of all, Maya was still missing. Her social media had gone dark. Her phone was disconnected. No bank activity. It was like she had fallen off the edge of the earth and left me to walk a tightrope with no safety net. Meanwhile, I had secretly ordered a paternity test, terrified of what would happen if Aaron beat me to it. I swabbed Liam's cheek one night while he slept, my hands trembling so badly I could barely hold the stick steady. And as I dropped the sample in the envelope, I felt like I was mailing away the last shred of my peace. Because if the test came back